Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. This week, we'll take a trip to the Hyatt for a celebration of the good work done by Elijah's Promise in New Brunswick. And we'll stop by the Spring Fair at Rutgers Gardens. We'll have previews of a couple of upcoming events. East Brunswick resident Stephen Goldman will speak at the library about his new book, Forging Genius, The Making of Casey Stengel. And Jim Miller is coordinating a walk to benefit St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Stay with us. As promised, it was a night of great chefs, great food, and great fun, all to benefit Elijah's Promise in New Brunswick. Held Monday night at the Hyatt, Chef's Night featured book signing by Chef Mario Batali and food prepared by some of the best chefs in the state. Elijah's Promise Soup Kitchen served more than 95,000 meals last year. It's not just a soup kitchen, though.
Before it was Elijah's Promise, it was Lunch on the House of God, and it was basically a group of people in St. John the Evangelist Church on George Street that looked out and saw that their neighborhood needed help. And they were mostly a commuter parish, and I was invited to go for lunch one day, and that was in 1981, and I've been there ever since, volunteering.
What are you hoping for the future of Elijah's Promise now?
Well, it seems to me the future is here. It's all the things we dreamed of back in '81 when we were just serving lunch. But now we take care of so many needs of the people. It's beyond food. Putting a plate of food on the table wasn't the answer. We really had to fill that empty heart. So we looked into education, which we're doing now through Promise Jobs. Promise Catering is a place for people to work, as well as supplying a need for the community. We also have a lot of health care that comes into the soup kitchen. We take care of people in their homes with Fresh is Best for various AIDS patients, and our list goes on and on. I mean, it truly is the dream come true.
Culinary School is a 17-week program, and we do a stripped-down French basics so that students can be competitive with other people coming out of the New York schools in the area.
My experience through Promise Catering was very intense. I'm a mother of 5 kids, and I love the school. It was very hard, but it was worth it. Now I'm a full-time worker at Promise Catering, and I enjoy what I do.
Elijah's Promise is about empowering folks. It's not just an agency. It's about moving people from poverty to self-sufficiency. If that's anything that has to do with our mission statement, that is our mission statement. Moving people from poverty to self-sufficiency. Also, we do have clients that come in that are not in a state of poverty, but they do come in because they want to learn a new career in the culinary field. When I think of Elijah's, I think of really giving folks hope and helping people move into the next level of life. Either coming out from a crisis in their own personal life, either substance abuse, or it could be housing, it could be getting into a new career, or just have someone to speak to with it because of the stress of everyday life.
The program that I oversee is a new program just started out in January. And it's a program that basically serves the homeless population and anyone else who needs help in regards to getting into programs that has to do with addiction. Someone who has a drug problem, an alcohol problem, a nicotine problem, I refer them into treatment. I get them into a medically supervised detoxification unit, which is a base hospital, and I also get them into an aftercare plant, which is basically long-term inpatient program, and I do a follow-up after that.
I know the results of that sort of program usually take some time to see, and you have only been in operation since January, but what can you tell us about what you've seen so far?
Well, what is overwhelming. So far, like between January and February and March, I think we serviced over 45 clients and got them into treatment and got them off the streets.
We've done programs together. I come over and help teach some of their budgeting classes or interviewing, and we've worked together on some other projects. A lot of my residents at Amon La Crossing and Imani Park also go to Promise Jobs, and a lot have graduated and open restaurants and work in the field. So we are sister agencies, and we work together a long time.
I think Elijah's Promise is a great program. I think it's a great idea. When I went to college, there wasn't an Elijah's Promise. So 25 years later, the city's improved, obviously. The economic environment and it hasn't necessarily. So people need to have good jobs, get good training on how to actually get themselves up out of a tough situation. And cooking's a really good entry-level career that has potential to flower in an entirely larger business. So anybody that's involved with the program and can come out of it and do out well has made huge progress. It's a great thing.
You have a history here in New Brunswick. Tell us about that and about your future plans.
I went to college in New Brunswick from 1978 to 1982. I worked in a restaurant in town that was famous in its day and I believe still is, called Stuff Your Face. It was my first big break, and it's nice that anybody can get a break into the industry of any level. And they can make, as you can see by my lucky career, you can make a lot out of it if you get in the right place.
We have been very fortunate to have had, in 3 years, probably 6 of Elijah Promise's culinary students at our hotel and spa. And I must say that I feel like I'm batting 1,000 with them because they've supplied us with great people who have come with the right stuff.
I actually own a restaurant in Old Bridge, and it's my first restaurant. And I heard about Elijah's Promise, and I was very interested in participating only because of, what it stands for. It stands for giving people an opportunity and a chance to create a life for themselves, and I like that.
Tell us about what you hope for the future of Elijah's Promise.
Well, my greatest hope is that we have some really wonderful opportunities on the horizon to expand our services and to be able to help more people. We're in the process of renovating a building on 211 Livingston Avenue in New Brunswick, where we'll house our culinary training programs and our catering enterprise. And it gives us an opportunity to expand all of our services, from the soup kitchen and our social services down at 18 Nielsen Street to our culinary training and employment opportunities through catering. We're really thrilled, and I think that the work of helping to empower people's lives and alleviate hunger is unfortunately work that continues to grow and be needed and necessary in today's society. But thankfully, we have a wonderful core of people throughout Central New Jersey who are committed to doing something about it and making a difference.
I can make peace on earth with my own 2 hands. I can clean up the earth, oh, with my own 2 hands, and I can reach out to you, whoa, with my own 2 hands, with my own 2 hands. Oh, with my own 2 hands. Gonna make it a brighter place. I'm gonna make it a safer place. I'm gonna help the human race. Oh, hey, hey, hey.
Hi, this is Jillian Angeline reporting for EBTV Channel 3. I'm at the Rutgers Gardens Spring Flower Fair to celebrate springtime. They are selling so many kinds of plants and flowers. It's amazing. Come on with me to speak with Doc Hamilton and Bruce Crawford about this colorful day. Hi, Doc. Can you tell us about the plant sale here?
Yes, this is one of our most important events in the gardens because this is our major income generator. And we also then have a chance to introduce people to a lot of exciting stuff. And we work very closely with the people in the industry. So we buy wholesale and sell retail. And so people come out here in droves, as you can see. And this is the first year we've had it down here by the log cabin. The log cabin is a very interesting building itself. It was built by the WPA. Now, it was during the Depression. It was called the Work Progress Administration, and it's modeled after a fisherman's cabin in Maine. And it's very important for events. In fact, I teach a class in here now for Are You All? So it's retired senior citizens, and then of course we have the gardens right outside. And the whole area here is landscaped with native plants, so it's a neat place itself.
Are they all sectioned off at the plant sale?
Here, this is the first time we set it up this way, and so we'll probably continue to do it this way. And so, right here in front of us, we have these ground covers. Over there are annuals. Rhododendrons are sort of grouped together so that you can go and pick out the type of plant that you want. And then the vegetables aren't ours. We have the Middlesex County growers than students come in and sell plants there.
Do you have a favorite plant or a flower?
Do I have a... You know, I think of the group of plants, I think the dogwoods are some of the most interesting ones. I like both the Japanese dogwood and our native flowering dogwood. And of course now there are hybrids between the two. But I mean, it's really, for a plant man to settle in on one or two, it's sort of difficult.
Is the plant sale always in conjunction with Mother's Day?
Yeah, because our slogan is bring mom to the gardens for Mother's Day and bring a checkbook.
Oh, okay.
So, it's a 2-day event, and here's your chance now to pick out a plant that Mom will like, or find one that you sneak home and give it to her tomorrow. In fact, I've got to buy my wife a plant today too.
Do you have any other plant sales throughout the year?
Oh yeah, we have a minor plant sale the last Saturday in July. Up there, when you pass those plots that have nothing in, or very little in, we have people who adopt a plot and they plant it, and they have it looking at its best the last Saturday in July. So we have a minor plant sale there, and then fall is for planting. So in October we have another plant sale, but this is the big one.
Is the Rutgers Gardens always open to the public?
During daylight hours, because we know if you're here after dark, you're not here to look at plants. So, we've had plants disappear at night and other activities that we won't even go into. So.
And are there any other activities besides plant sales at the Rutgers Gardens?
We have groups come in for camping. We have Easter egg hunt. One of the clubs sponsors that. There's all kinds of senior citizen tours, scout tours.
Hi Bruce, can you tell us about the turnout here today?
Turnout's doing very nicely. So I was a little worried when they were talking about rain, and I was hopeful that everyone would show up and we were having a good day. So everything's going well.
And do you have a favorite plant?
Well, I brought this one along. This is an agastache, and what's neat about agastache is that they're an annual, which some people will say, ooh, do I want an annual? But this one is deer resistant, so it's got foliage which smells like licorice, and an interesting flower, which is obviously pink and orange. It will bloom all summer long, and if you pinch it and take the head flower off, the lower branches will come up and you'll get a bigger, fuller plant. It's also drought tolerant, so a lot of people forget to water the plants during the summer, and this one obviously you don't have to worry about as much. So.
And why are they deer resistant?
Deer are sort of finicky. It's some things they don't like, and they don't like things with a lot of flavor. So if it's minty or has a fragrance or some pungence to it, they don't like that. And so that's what you get with this plant.
Wow. Can you tell me about the different sections here today?
Okay, well, we broke it down into vegetables and herbs, annuals, rare and unusual annuals, shade plants, rhododendrons and what have you, and then the plants which like full sun, so which both obviously perennials and woody plants.
And what did you have to do to prepare for this?
A lot of work. We've been ordered. There's about 8 different nurseries that supply this show, and we started ordering the plants and going to the nurseries back in February. So it takes a while to get here. So.
Wow. Where were the nurseries? Were they in New Jersey or were they outside?
Somewhere in Long Island, and most others were in New Jersey, yes. Wow. We try to support the local growers.
Wow. Do you have any thoughts on the different plants and herbs here today?
Well, the thought would be that we have a lot of variety. So right now, when we started out, I'm interested to see how many are going. But it's also fun, too, to see what you think to be the most popular one, because you take a guess. And the ones that I thought were sort of like iffy, they went the first, and the ones I thought were really great are still here. So go figure. But no, I'm enjoying it. It's fun for me. It's the first time I've done it, to see what people really like and what they select. So.
And I understand that you were a student here. Can you tell me about that experience?
Well, I was a student here from 1980 to 1984, and I've been an adjunct professor here from 1987 to present. So I teach an herbaceous plant class.
Okay. And why do you have a plant sale?
Well, Rutgers doesn't support some of the gardens, but everything that we do here is actually funded by this plant sale and other plant sales. So in order for us to have summer interns and summer help, it's the money, the revenue that we get from the sale that actually supports that.
I hope you enjoyed a little of the Spring Flower Fair. If you'd like more information about the Rutgers Gardens in general or about events coming up, contact the Rutgers Gardens at 732-932-8451. Remember, flowers are for every occasion. This is Jillian Angeline signing off.
Fans of the Yankees and Mets, this one's for you. On Tuesday, May 17th at 8 in the East Brunswick Public Library, Township resident Steve Goldman will be giving a talk about the subject of his new book, The Legendary Baseball Manager, Casey Stengel. We caught up with Steve recently outside the municipal building. Stephen, tell us what you'll be talking about next Tuesday night.
I'll be talking about my book on Casey Stengel, Forging Genius, which talks about his early years as a manager up till when he became the Yankees manager in 1949. This is really the education of Casey Stengel. I mean, he was known as a funny guy, but he was also a very smart baseball manager, and there is an interesting dichotomy in his life because people had a hard time understanding that the same person could be both funny and very interested in winning. And they pointed to the early years of his managerial career before he came to these wonderful Yankee teams that he had, where he did a lot of losing. And my thesis was that he was perfecting his techniques, his understandings of the game during all those years that he was working for these clubs that were very, very poor and underfinanced. And when he got to the Yankees, they needed a manager who understood how to patch because they had a lot of problems, a lot of injuries, a lot of aging players, and he was the perfect man for the situation. So no other biographies really covered this in detail.
Now, when he got to the Mets were pretty bad. Some people wonder if they would have made it at all without him. What do you think?
I think he definitely helped them. I mean, he knew he was 72 when he started with the Mets. He was definitely financially secure. He was a millionaire. He didn't need to be doing that. He understood that the Mets were not going to be a competitive team, and he said, "We're frauds, but if I can sell some tickets with my face, then so much the better."
Do you think that it was more difficult for him to manage a great team or a mediocre team?
That's a very interesting question. I think in a way the great team created more problems because he had the pressure of keeping it up. With the bad team, you could experiment and whatever you got was what you got. With the Yankees, when he had to substitute for, say, Joe DiMaggio or work a young 19 or 20-year-old Mickey Mantle into the lineup, he had New York on watching him. So I would say the pressure of keeping that team up, and he kept it up for 10 years, more than 10 years actually, from 1949 through his initial retirement in 1960. I would say that was harder.
Did he have favorite players?
Yes, very much so. Billy Martin, who he discovered in California when Casey managed Oakland, which was a minor league team at that time. Casey sort of made him his protege, and in fact Billy Martin's plaque at Yankee Stadium says Casey's boy. And of course Mickey Mantle was someone who had almost a father-son relationship with Casey, and Casey very much saw as sort of his living monument in the game, someone who he could teach and would be so great that everybody would know that he had been Casey's protege also.
How did you come to write the book?
Well, this aspect of Casey Stengel, who's very much a quintessential American, Missourian like Mark Twain, same kind of off-kilter sensibility, and actually some of the same conflicts, about not being taken seriously. Mark Twain was under tremendous pressure throughout his life to stop writing funny things and write a serious novel. And Casey Stengel was under pressure to look like he was suffering whenever he lost, or even when he was winning. Managers are just supposed to be this hard-bitten, grumpy guys, and he could never do that. And that fascinated me. And as I got into baseball, when I was 14, there was an immediate connection between he and I, and I'd always wanted to be a writer and became interested in writing about this aspect of his life that I thought, where he was underserved. And that actually was a wonderful thing for me because although the book wasn't published right away, strangely, there weren't many people interested in Casey Stengel when I first started. Now that the book's being published, I get phone calls all the time saying, "I'd love to do a Casey Stengel project." And I say, "Well, where were you?" But people heard that I was writing this and became interested in me saying other things about baseball, which led to me working for the Yes Network, where I am now presently.
Tell us what you do there.
I write a column, weekly column called the Pinstripe Bible, which we also follow up with more or less daily blog entries, just kibitzing on what's going on with the Yankees, responding to the readers in terms of their issues, both with the team and what I might say. And then in the blog, I kick back and talk about almost everything else that interests me, not just baseball, but music, books, politics, to my readers' disenchantment sometimes. I'm a little to the left, I think, of most baseball readers. And I also write for Baseball Prospectus, which is the most respected baseball publication in the industry, basically.
Now, when you speak on Tuesday night at the library about Casey Stengel, folks who come, will they have an opportunity to ask you questions?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's my favorite part. I've been going around doing, not just for this, but for another Baseball Prospectus book we published earlier this year. I've been going around the Eastern Seaboard pretty much and getting to meet people and answer questions. I love being put on the spot. I love speaking to people and hearing their questions. And there's so many good stories about Casey. I couldn't possibly have fit them all in the book. A lot of them are in there. And of course there are periods of his life that aren't covered by the book. So anything anybody wants me to ask, I love talking about him. He was a fascinating person.
Okay, to wrap up here, can you tell us one good story, a quick one about Casey Stengel?
Well, since we're out here by the pond and these ducks keep coming up and panhandling, I'm reminded that in the old days of the minor leagues, things were not so formalized and some rather strange things happened. And at one point, he took his Toledo Mud Hens to play a team in Ohio, and that team had a mascot, a duck named Goldberg. Casey won the game, his team won the game, and he was given Goldberg as a mascot. Goldberg was supposed to be his good luck charm, and he kept Goldberg out at third base with him. Managers in those days coached third base, and Goldberg, they won a few games in a row, and Goldberg was under his arm, helping him wave runners home, however a duck would do that. And then they lost a few in a row, and Goldberg mysteriously disappeared. It's possible that someone had him over for dinner.
At last Monday's Town Council meeting, Mayor Neary presented a proclamation to the East Brunswick Rescue Squad in honor of Emergency Services Week.
Whereas each year, residents and visitors to East Brunswick may require emergency medical care for traumatic injuries, burns, poisoning, spinal cord injuries, heart attacks, and other critical emergencies. And whereas emergency care personnel, including emergency medical dispatchers, first responders, first aiders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, nurses, and physicians, whether volunteer or paid personnel, give selflessly of themselves for the welfare of others. And whereas the citizens of East Brunswick benefit from the knowledge, skills, and dedication of these emergency medical service specialists as they work together to ensure prompt and appropriate treatment at the scene, on the way to the hospital, and in the emergency departments. And whereas it is important for the citizens of East Brunswick to know about our emergency medical services system, including what to do in a medical emergency and whom to call, and who to benefit from reminders about ways to prevent emergencies from happening. And whereas East Brunswick desires to continue to improve upon its emergency medical services system in order to assure all citizens the highest standards of emergency medical care. Now therefore be it proclaimed that I, William Neary, Mayor of the Township of East Brunswick, do hereby proclaim May 15th to the 21st, 2005, Emergency Services Week in East Brunswick in recognition of all those engaged in emergency medical services and activities.
There will be a special town council meeting on the school budget on Thursday, May 19th. The next regular town council meeting will be on Monday, May 23rd. During the month of May, art by East Brunswick public and private school students is being displayed at the library. The exhibit includes art by students of Chittick, Frost, Bound Monroe, Lawrence Brook, and Irwin Elementary Schools, and also by students in the Solomon Schechter Day School of the Raritan Valley.
Hi, this is Jillian Angeline reporting for This Week in East Brunswick. I'm here with Jim Miller to speak with him about a walk that is taking place on May 21st at Crystal Springs to benefit St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. It's a great cause, so let's go find out more about it.
St. Jude's is a cancer research hospital for kids. They're in Memphis, Tennessee. If you have, they'll take whatever insurance you have. If you don't have insurance, they don't charge you a penny. They never ask you for any money. They've done major breakthroughs in cancer research, and it's all for kids. And kids are the #1 product in the world. St. Jude's helps. It was founded by Danny Thomas, and it's a great foundation.
What is your role in the walkathon?
I'm the coordinator.
And how did you get involved?
They called me on the phone one day.
And what did you say to them?
Well, they asked me about walking first, but I told them I'm disabled, I can't walk. Then they asked me if I'd coordinate a walkathon, and I definitely, without a doubt, hands down, it's for children. Kids are the #1 thing in the world.
Is there going to be entertainment at the event?
There's going to be a karate demonstration and a cheerleading demonstration.
Wow, and how long is the walk?
It's just under 3 miles.
How many participants do you have?
Right now, I have between 50 and 60.
How did Applebee's get involved?
I was there one night having dinner, and I asked them about it, and they were so receptive. Right away, they jumped right in and asked whatever they can do for me.
Do you have anything else to add about the walk?
If anybody wants to walk, please call me. My number is 732-390-9747. I have a machine. I'm home. I'm disabled, so I'm home all the time.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Believe me, and thank you anybody that wants to help.
So come on out to support the walk. There will be food, refreshments, and entertainment. If you'd like to participate, contact the number at the bottom of your screen. This is Jillian Angeline signing off.
Each year, kindergarten classes from the East Brunswick school system go on a field trip to the library. On May 4th, Irwin kindergarteners came for a story program with Youth Services librarian Lucretia Lipper, and an opportunity to receive their first library cards and check out books on their own.